What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back out here again on a late, cold 20th, I believe, Tuesday night. We're back at the Enduro cars. I'm by myself, so you know what that means. I'm about to get some stuff done. Y'all enjoy the video. So to bring you guys up to speed on where we are with the Enduro car, the junker, as I've mentioned to you guys, since the last time you've seen it, we've done a lot. So let me let y'all see what we've got going on here. First off, starting in the front, we'll do front to back. Power steering reservoir has been fabricated, just zip tied and mounted up. We've got the engine completely running, throttle cable is hooked up, breather is on. We have fabricated the radiator. I've got a radiator fan hardwired up to the dash. Everything is done here, minus building a battery tray and stuff like that. I came out here the other night off camera and tucked the harness, so everything is nice and tucked in. Everything is secured and nothing is actually down low. You can see all of the harness is nice and neat. Just have to build a mounting bracket for the ECU. But fuel pump is hardwired in. You can see I redid all that. So that is nice and neat. We can now, if we have any fuel pump issues, we can just troubleshoot from right there. And I made it to where we have some connectors in there. But this is a fuel pump going to be on a switch. This is the fan that's going to be on the switch. Gauge cluster plugs in right here, and this is going to be the ignition. And it's all going to be nice and neat mounted right here once I get the sheet metal dash done. So Austin got our doors fixed up. You see Dad completely cleaned this cage up. So y'all can tell how smooth everything is now. There's none of them big gobble welds. He's come in here and re-welded everything. He's got that back plate completely welded out. He's cut out the battery box. He's added this brace. He still has to add the X brace. We got rid of this nasty one that was coming up top right here because it was barely welded in. So that is complete. We've got bumper on, fenders are on, and all the seat compartment is completely done. So all I have left to do with this area right here is get the seat mounted back in, and then we've got to put a window net in. Dad went ahead and fixed my strawberry shortcake that was rotten right here. So Dad completely redid all this. You can see it looks a lot better. This back section, like we mentioned, was already plated. So that's done. We've got to get rid of these old belts, put some new belts in it. Austin got the trunk skinned out, so I'm about to sheet metal this, and she'll be pretty much set. One of the setbacks that we ran into is the rear brakes on this car. The calipers were stuck. They're right here. They were completely seized up for sitting up so long. So we've got some new calipers we've ordered to get put on the back so we can have some brakes. But overall, this car has gone from a junk to a jewel. And we really are starting to really fall, not fall in love, but we're really starting to like this car. We're really starting to put some time and effort and energies into this thing. And so it's going to be nice, hopefully, when we get done. Oh, and obviously Dad put a door plate in, so to make that safe. So this car is not going to look the same whenever we get done with it. Y'all are not even probably going to be able to tell that it was sitting in a junkyard for years. So with that said, I'm gonna set you guys up. The agenda for tonight, I'm only gonna work for a little bit before we come back out. We are gonna get the headlights sheet metaled. I may get the trunk sheet metaled and some of the doors sheet metaled before we call it a night. And then we'll see how far along we can get. Thank y'all for clicking on this video. Please subscribe if you don't mind, help us out. Let's get to it. just like that. Front end is sheet metal. So it's nice and strong. Only had to make one relief cut right here, which I'll get this and sand it down and maybe spackle it or something, or just put a piece of tape over it. That's what we normally do. But you guys see that process. Got this metal here left over from whenever we redid the enclosed trailer roof. So I cut that piece out, took my time, made sure it was really nice, and then just flipped it over and made myself a pattern. So what I will do is once I get this one cut out, I'll trace it one more time so that I always have that pattern in case that one messes up. So yeah, I know I could just take this one off and retrace it, but you guys can't see it, but right over there, right there, we cut a bunch of these things out to have as spares for whenever we need them and we redo them. So like for instance, K9's car, whenever we get it going, which you can see they've already moved it in preparation on doing some more work to it, we can just slap them on. So that's just a handy little bit of free information for you guys. If y'all are watching this and you've never done it, make yourself a pattern and cut a few of them out if you have the extra metal. So I'm gonna get this other side put on. You guys saw that I just did this one, so I'll come back whenever I got this one done and we'll just keep working our way back. This side is done now. So once you get paint, that'll be beautiful. And the hood will go right over it. I left a little room right here for my ground if we ever need to get to that for my fans. And I went ahead and started on this dash. So let me back up here. You guys can see I'm real OCD about how my dashes are. So with everything tucked up nice here, I told you guys we were going to be making an access panel over this fuse box that's going to be able to hinge in case something ever goes wrong. But what I do is I get these aluminum sticks from Lowe's. They're real tight. They're almost like spring steel. And I put them down first on all three. And what that does is that whenever I go to put my sheet metal from this bar to the front, it's actually going to overlap a little bit. I'll have a place to pot rivet to this way so that the dash doesn't bounce up and down. You can see over here on the Falcon how Austin did it. He did it almost the exact same way, but he used some square tubing, which is real solid. And so that way, you don't even have to pot rivet nothing there because your pot rivets are going to go to the cage. But what that does is that keeps that dash from getting weak and flopping all over the place to where nothing's, you know, floppy. So anyway, I'm going to try to get this piece cut out. I'm going to real tediously get a piece cut out here and just try to get it form fit and set in there for tonight. And then I'll probably wrap it up for this video, or not this video, just for tonight's portion of the work. It's about 10:45 at night and we're celebrating Christmas tomorrow for my family. So I'm going to get this piece cut and I'll show you what it looks like when I get done. There you go, guys. Kind of give you a look at what it looks like. Nice and real tight fits. And this kind of looks janky, but you'll never see it once we get the hood on and this painted black. I'm gonna pull this dash back out and clean all them spots up. It's kind of tricky, but more than likely I may even come back with another piece to try to clean these little holes up and pot rivet down here. You kind of seen like a dirt shield that kind of goes across here and the top. So I may do that and just put a shield over this area right here. But anyway, what you can see is I marked 2 inches. Actually, I marked 2 inches right here and I marked 2 inches on that side so that I knew that I had 2 inches of fold down. So you always leave this, so whenever I fold this, I'll have a 90-degree flat to go for my flat piece down here. But what I've done is I pot riveted that one in. Let me get this air. There we go. What I've done though is I pot riveted this one so that it would always stay. So that I knew that when I got this side done first, this thing, all I had to do is work that way. I've learned that with my RSX. But what I did is I popped a line or drew a line right here, and I know that's exactly where my pot rivets go for the top. So what I'll do is that bit is dull, and I'm gonna call it a night for tonight. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna pot rivet and drill all of these pieces and holes first, so that whenever I take this thing out, I can just drill them back out and I know exactly where they go, where I'm not sitting here fighting it. That way I can clean all this up and I know it goes back exactly where it was. And then I can come in here, and once that's done, I can draw me a new line and I can bend that and make it nice. So that way we have a real nice dash here. And then I'll form fit and put all of our gauge clusters and stuff right there. But it's turning out nice. It's not perfect, but I like doing this type of work. So anyways, I'm gonna call that a night for tonight. Like I said, I'm going to spend time with my family tomorrow on Wednesday. So I go back to work Thursday night, and I actually have to work Christmas Eve night and Christmas night and stuff like that. But we'll be back shortly, and possibly A. Fleming, the mailman, will come out and get some more done. So we'll see y'all in a minute.
That was a quick minute. All right, so it is Thursday night. Skyler's at work, and it is a big pile of crap. So this is where we're left off at. Some things have changed for today. You can't tell. It ain't, especially in here, but it's cold. It's starting to get cold. It's getting cold enough down here for us that we had to make a little trip, get some antifreeze. We took these out for all of them. We've got towels. It's gonna get pretty cold. So what we do have here is a little brown man, some calipers that we're hoping they could probably be cleaned up, but there's one and two. Looks all right to me. We've got the old pads. Well, I'm not sure if we'll use those, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna finally try to put these back together before it gets too cold and we can work. So give me a second here. I do want to just say something quick. I got me my first USCS sweatshirt over there at Milton. First racing jacket I think I've ever bought. What I wanted to say is I've done a lot of thinking this year. A. Fleming didn't have such a good year. I think I had some wins, a lot of second places. I think 1 or 2 thirds, maybe 2 thirds. Magnolia and Hattiesburg win my. Anyway, both times my alternator went out. Funny. I just want to say I appreciate everybody, because I see some of these bigger channels and I think to myself, they're growing pretty fast, and I can't help but wonder sometimes, is it something that we're doing wrong? Maybe people just don't like us, which is always the case. Sometimes I don't like some of us, myself included. But I also wonder, is it the type of class that we're running? And I've said to people, I don't know if I've ever said on the channel, but that Skyler had already moved up a few classes. I'm pretty sure all the way. I think he's ran a super late model or something, but not on dirt, but on asphalt. But anyway, we come back down because we really do enjoy this class and wanted to help build this class, especially locally here where we're at. But I I can't help but think sometimes with just the channel, and we're growing, and I can't thank everybody enough how cool it is to have been where we are this year compared to last year. So, but I think to myself, I can't help but say, maybe we need to move up pure stock, modified, and just get one car, and maybe we'll grow. You know, that's what people want to see. But I guess I just can't help but want to stay true to who we are with this class. So for everybody that's new subscribers and the old that have stuck with us from the beginning, I really do appreciate y'all. You know, Christmas is less than a week away. It's actually here in about 3 or 4 days. It's in 2 days, actually. 3 days. Anyway, so we are really trying our hardest with the cold. It's supposed to get down to, I think, well under 20 for us here, which is very rare. So we're not exactly equipped for it, but we're trying to get as much as we can done with the weather and the timing. I am off for a little bit of vacation, so we really need these brakes to work. If I can get these brakes to work, we're going to move this one out, and then we'll be ready to possibly get back to this thing for K9, the K9 machine. So let's see if we can't get these brakes put on. All right, I really had to think very hard about this one because I know the comments can go crazy, but I just thought it was funny. Just another, just a little example of rushing things and not thinking. No pain, nothing damaged. We had to find these calipers. Our calipers on the rear were blocked up, and it took us a little bit finding some, and parts house had. Long story short, we've been dealing with these brakes for a few days. Now, I got this little bleeder thing, and y'all can tell me in the comments if it's worth anything, but I'm not sure if it matters, but I tried to bleed this right side with this gun, and just nothing was working for me. And then I realized that my back left side is wide open and I've been sucking air the whole time. So that ain't gonna work. So let's get over here and do that first.
All right, what happened?
Well, where's that? We're not getting anything coming through again. I don't know. Right now it's not looking too good.
We tried to bleed the back brakes and nothing came through. And so now we're looking at the front.
Even though I'm pretty sure you're supposed to do the back first.
As you can tell, he's problem solving in his brain, not talking much. But wanted to give you a little update before we start a time lapse of trying to figure out again what's wrong with these brakes.
Well, it's not iced over yet, but it's cold. The sun's out, so most of the ice, I think, is melted off the cars already. But if you can hear, figured I'd come down. We're gonna start working on the brakes. Me and the mailman went ahead and fired some of these cars up to let them come back up to operating temperature. our temperature is on this one. Figured I'd get these up to about 150. They'll be good for a few hours probably, or at least an hour or two. But it's gonna warm up a little bit today, so. Huh? Yeah. So we're working on getting fluid pulled through these lines, and we're gonna see if we can figure something out with this thing. With the old trusty Harbor Freight rig.
That noise?
It's that motor running.
What is that?
Got brakes, but it's cold as a iron.
Guys, my hands are frozen, but the time has come. I'm not sure all what Austin has told y'all, but we got the brakes. I was able to find some used part out here local to us, so Austin and Dad got the brakes going and braking. And so we just put the battery tray in. Austin's bolting the seat up. We got the fuel pump just kind of halfway wired. So we're gonna attempt to drive this thing for the first time since we've owned it. The only movement forward that Austin has made is with no brakes and no throttle. So I got the throttle in. We temporarily took that dash piece out just for a little bit, while Austin runs it up, just sees if it moves on its own. So let's see what happens. Hopefully it stops. If it goes, hopefully it stops. Oh, and P.S. I don't know how in the world you guys can handle this weather, but as you can see, everybody's bundled up real good. It's 30 degrees. It's crazy. Look at there, K9. All that hard work, how do you feel? It's moving under its own power. You want the, hey, you want the grinding shield? Hey, remember that fuel pump line may come undone. And we don't know if it's got fuel in it. But it's moving, that's all I can say. Hopefully it ain't broke down. I think I hear a car. Is it stopping? Oh yeah. All right, here, take them for a ride.
No, that's it. We'll see y'all.
All right, guys, Austin said we're wrapping it up.
It's cold down these parts.
It is cold, and y'all hear it is running. How does it feel? Just
Need some
fuel cleaner. All right.
We got some noise. I don't think any of our belts are on, so something's rattling down there. So we'll figure it out.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Y'all saw I did a little bit of work. Austin did a little bit of work, and the car is now
it's
moving
doing it right.
under its own power. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to follow along. And I guess what, the next video we're gonna do the reveal.
Yeah.
All right, so
we're gonna take a break for Christmas.
we're gonna take a Christmas break. Merry Christmas to you guys. The next time you see this car, we'll be at the track. We're gonna take us a little bit of break, get it finished up, and then you guys be sure to stay tuned for the big reveal. Catch you guys later.